We're back, TexAgs Radio live here at the Angry Elephant in College Station. Thank you for the applause, all six of you. Appreciate you. Just kidding. Hey, let's do this because yesterday I was listening to Off Campus on Sirius, and I heard Kris Budden talking about grown men wearing jerseys. So I definitely asked her about that here. Sideline reporter Kris, good morning. How are you?
We're doing good. Apparently, I started a thing yesterday that other people didn't know was a thing, but I do have a lot of social media backers after my comments yesterday.
Well, look, I haven't worn a jersey very often, especially not to the grocery store. But I do think it was Jacob who said it. Soccer jerseys a little bit more presentable to go out. Is that did I hear that correctly?
Yeah, they're a little hipper, a little cooler. And most of the soccer jerseys are from people overseas. So it's not like you're going to their game. It's more of like if you're going to a Chiefs game and wearing a Mahomes jersey and have paid like $200 for that jersey, and then you're wearing it with your jean shorts walking around Publix is kind of my issue with it.
I got it. Hey, let's get into this game here. How real of a threat do you think Auburn is for A&M here at home, even though they're favored by some places 7.5, 8.5, 9.5?
Yeah, I think if you look at the talent discrepancy, then you wouldn't think that there would be any sort of threat. But I also think that Auburn's still figuring out what it is on offense with Philip Montgomery there at OC. You saw Peyton Thorne run the ball last week for 123 yards, which we haven't seen from him in the past. I talked to him about it yesterday, and he said, listen, I just haven't been in a system where I had designed QB runs, and we're starting to implement that more. How much do we see him versus Robbie Ashford? Freeze has said, like, the plan is to still have packages for Robbie, but maybe a little bit less so that there is more continuity. If you look at the talent-wise, there was a stat that Auburn had flipped a 5-star from Georgia to go to Auburn. It was the first 5-star since 2019, and during that time A&M has had 15 5-stars, and Freeze was very honest about it, whether he's laying the table to for the reason that the spread is the way that it is. I wouldn't think that Aggie fans would have anything to be concerned about, but I also called Alabama USF last week, so you never know.
Kris, I don't think this game against Auburn can change the narrative about A&M in any way, shape, or form. That being said, it can at least start giving hope to Aggie fans, right? If they take care of business against Auburn, a team that they should beat in Jimbo's year 6, if they do get some tackling done the right way, it can at least start making you feel a little better. Do you agree with that?
I do, especially like defensively with what they showed against Miami. If you see improvements, right now, 3rd in the country on 3rd down defense, I almost feel like there's more to lose than there is to gain, because if you lose this game, then things get very heated very quickly. A win just suffices you for 2 more weeks until you get the Bama game, if that makes sense. So it's more of, I don't know how much upside there is, but there could be a lot of downside if things don't go according to plan.
Talking to Kris Budden here on TexAgs Radio, presented by David Gardner's Jewelers. Let's talk Connor Wigman. He has been everything we expected him to be as he came in as a freshman last year, started playing towards the end of the year, and even exceeding, I think, early expectations this year. What's been your read on Connor?
Yeah, I think part of it is spending an entire spring with Bobby Petrino and having that system. I'd asked him about why he gave up baseball finally. Like there was this, I'm going to do it. And then he said, when Petrino came in and we have this OC, I needed to be there during spring. And it's different when you're the guy and you're not splitting reps. And even if there is a competition, you know that if the confidence is there, like this is yours to take control of. And for all the, naysayers last year for how the quarterback competition and schedule laid out, probably worked out perfectly for Connor, because if let's say as a freshman, he goes in there and plays week 1 and gets crushed, like where does that leave his confidence? He got half a season to sit and watch and learn and then be able to grow, to then come into a spring where he's just decided that's it, football's my deal. And he's got, I don't know, there's a swagginess about him, a confidence about him that when you talk to him, he's just like, for a young kid, is really cool.
Kris, I can't believe I'm asking about weather in September being a factor, but do you think it plays a factor tomorrow, since we are hearing it could be close to 100 degrees?
Yeah, I'm first of all, I'm on like the bad luck train, or like the climate change train here recently, because we had the game Utah Baylor 2 weeks ago where the field read 156, and I can't believe it's almost October and we're still looking at feels like temperatures of 105. Listen, it does, but I mean, you play in Texas all the time. You're kind of used to it. When I had that game with Utah, I expected them to have massive issues with it, and they were fine. I did ask Peyton Thorne about it yesterday, just being a kid from Chicago and always playing up north. And he says he loves playing in the heat, would rather play in the heat than the snow. So unless the humidity honestly becomes a big deal and it's hard to keep your hands dry or anything like that, these guys are used to playing in this weather. They've been playing in it now for what feels like. I'm a Texan. I live up in Dallas. I feel like we've been sitting here in triple degree heat for 6 months now.
All right, last thing for you, Kris. What do you think this game will boil down to? How does A&M or Auburn take it?
I think for Auburn to take it, they got to get pressure up front. I don't know that they have enough pieces to be able to do that. They are beat up in the secondary. So if I'm A&M, I throw that thing all over the place. They're missing a lot of pieces on the back. I think for Auburn to have a chance in this thing, you continue doing what you did last week. You use the run game with Peyton Thorne, but defensively, I think you got to get some pressure on Connor Wigman because he completed 86% of his passes last week. And I know that's not saying much against the competition, but get some pressure on him so that he doesn't have some easy throws against a beat up secondary.
Kris Budden, ESPN sideline reporter for the game tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us. Safe travels. I know that long ride from Frisco, but I appreciate your time. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.